Hey all, Carpetbagger here, and today we are going on a road trip. Now, in a previous video, I talked about a man, Harrison Mays, and I will put that video down below, probably. But the short of it is, Harrison Mays was an eccentric man from Middlesboro, Kentucky. He was a coal miner. He was stuck in a coal mine during a mining accident. And during that time, while he was trapped, he made a promise to God that if he was saved from the coal mine, that he would spend the rest of his life spreading God's word. And he was saved, and he did spread God's word. He would spend the rest of his life constructing concrete crosses and planting them on the side of the road. I believe this occurred in the 60s and 70s. And every once in a while, you will come across one of these crosses that he planted still in the ground. They're very rare. I like to try to hunt these down when I hear about them, and I get tips that some are still standing. They're very rare finds on America's roadside, so always exciting to come across one. But today, we're going to head out towards Middlesboro, Kentucky, where Harrison Mays lived, where he made these crosses, and not surprisingly, there is a higher concentration of his crosses around the area where he lived. So we're going to see how many of Harrison Mays's crosses we can find today. Follow me. Okay, check out. There's a little goat area here. There's some goats chilling out on the hillside there, and then there's this giant, freaky looking penguin monster over there. What? And there we have it. There is a Harrison Mays cross. Now, a reason that there's not very many Harrison Mays crosses left, because when they expanded the highways, a lot of them were in the way. They were destroyed, removed. He actually did not plant them with permission. He would just plop them down wherever he liked. So the area didn't necessarily belong to him, so they would end up getting demolished. I feel like in this area, since it was close to where he was from, maybe they had a little more respect, so a lot of the crosses are still standing. And that's kind of his traditional message right there, the get right with God. Let's go look at the other side. It says, Jesus is coming soon. This is actually part of the original Dixie Highway here, so I'm sure at one point these signs would get a lot of visibility, as it would be one of the main roads from the north to the south, or to the south from the north. Now, Harrison Mays, he wouldn't use only the concrete crosses. Sometimes he would mix it up. Sometimes you'll occasionally find like a aluminum cross. There's one in Ruth, North Carolina. They're a little more rare, because I think they're a little less durable. I'm at the Tazewell, I believe it's Tazewell Church of God, and here's a unusual find. I'm almost 100% sure this is Harrison Mays' work. Prepare to meet God. Here in this corrugated aluminum. Let's take a look at that. Prepare to meet God. And you see this little arrow pointing up to the heavens, and then laying down is an original Harrison Mays cross. This is a Jesus is coming one. Not sure, maybe it wouldn't stand anymore, so they placed it in the ground. You can see how he makes them here. There's the rebar, holds them together. You notice there's like little rocks inside. Apparently he would use, because he was a coal miner, he just used extra bits of material and leftovers from the mining activities to kind of press these crosses together. Yeah, you can see how they're held together. I guess this one lost its bottom, was unable to stand anymore, so they placed it here in the church underneath this giant "Prepare to Meet God" sign. Now here's something really, really rare that you almost never see anymore, and that's a hand. You know, this is just like a sign, metal sign made by Harrison Mays. It says, "Get right with God. Our churches welcome you." They actually have some examples of this sort of thing at the Museum of Appalachia, where they have a lot of his things, but this is the only one I've seen that's actually out in the wild. Aha, there we go. Got another cross. Check out that funeral home sign. That is very cool. All right, we are now in Middlesboro, Kentucky, the hometown of Harrison Mays. And of course, Middlesboro, better known as the Magic City for some reason. Now, one of the many eccentricities of Harrison Mays was that he actually built himself a giant cross-shaped house in which to live in, and it was painted up just like one of his cross monuments. And the house is still here, right here on this street. Right there is the cross-shaped house. You can actually, from a street level, does not look all that cross-shaped. You can see there's one of his crosses right there in the yard. So I believe a family member still lives there, and we're not going to bother them today. But if you look at it from Google Maps, you can actually make out that it is indeed a cross-shaped house. All right, we're headed way back into the coal mining area, crossing back into Tennessee to see about finding another marker. This is Bennett's Fork Baptist Church, and they actually have one of Harrison Mays' crosses preserved right there next to their church. Alright, I think this is what I'm looking for. Alright, now this cemetery is what I was looking for. Well, check this out. You see, this is like a grave that's a bed-style grave. It's got, oh wow. was a baby, passed away 1919, and actually have a carving of a sleeping or deceased baby on the gravestone itself, and then someone has placed this little doll up here. Okay, wow, this cemetery has become massively overgrown. I guess it's kind of understandable why. There is really no way to describe how out of the way this is. I drove and drove and drove just through nothingness on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Like, I thought that I was driving just into the middle of nowhere. I joke about being in the middle of nowhere. This cemetery right here is right in the center of the middle of nowhere. But here, see right here, what I wanted to show you. You see, prepare to meet God. That heart right there, that is the original cross made by Harrison Mays. It is placed at his parents' grave, and if you see, you can kind of just tell this graveyard is just totally overgrown, totally forgotten. Look at this gravestone right here. It's not even that old. It's like from the 70s. Alright, now as we are leaving Middlesboro, I've located one final sign. One more Harrison Mays concrete sign. Now this one, as you can see, is one of his heart-shaped ones. Prepare to meet God. And on the other side it says Jesus is coming soon. What's really interesting about this one, it says erect on Suez Canal bank in the 1990s. See, when he died, he actually left notes on his remaining crosses on where he wanted them planted. And actually, some of them were actually marked to be placed on different planets, like Jupiter or the moon. And so this one apparently did not make it to the Suez Canal, stayed here close to home in Middlesboro, Kentucky, but is still on this highway showing his message to millions and millions of passerbys every day. So thank you. I appreciate you guys joining me on my journey to find and document the remaining Harrison Mays crosses. Again, if you want to know more about Harrison Mays the person, I'll put my other video down there in the description. If you like my videos, feel free to throw me a few dollars on Patreon, and in return I will send you postcards when I'm on my road trips. I also sell t-shirts, and those links are down below as well. Appreciate it.